Yeah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well, to the elder apostles in Connecticut, to the bishops, the priests, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold, Shalom. To you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. This your brother Aram Yahawada with the lesson. Yeah, so this is Daily Mail, right? It says Georgia mom furious after 6-year-old daughter returns home from school without her shorts, right? Now they what you call them? They're short selling it because earlier the one article I seen was said just her t-shirt and panties on, right? So they're trying to not make it look so bad as far as the news, right? Georgia parent furious after 6-year-old daughter was sent home from school in just a t-shirt and underwear. See, right?
Baker County parents are outraged after they say their daughter walked around at school for several hours with only a t-shirt and her underwear on.
WALB News 10's Lena Allen spoke with those parents in the school about how they're addressing the incident.
This is how 6-year-old Ayla's parents say they sent her to school last Friday. But this is how they tell me she came back home after school, wearing a long t-shirt with only her underwear underneath.
I was mad, but I was more shocked than anything.
After notifying the school, the parents say they learned Ayla was walking around the school like that from noon until she left around 3 p.m.
How can you look over my 6-year-old daughter in just t-shirt and panties, socks and shoes for 3 hours?
Baker County Schools Principal Jeff Henderson says the whole situation was an accident.
We've never had this happen before.
That day, the school hosted a chalk party where students' clothes got dirty. Ayla's parents were asked to bring her a shirt to change into. Ayla says she forgot to put her shorts back on when she was told to change. Henderson says Ayla's teacher didn't realize she wasn't wearing any bottoms.
Her shirt was long. It went almost to her knee, and she was not fully exposed or anything like that throughout the day.
School police and Baker County Sheriff's Office have reviewed school cameras to make sure nothing happened to Ayla while she didn't have on pants. Henderson says student safety was never compromised.
We do care the concern and safety of our students. So we learn from this. It's a big learning experience for everyone that this took place. And it was never intentional. No way, shape, form this would ever happen.
Now, while Ayla's parents wait to hear back from deputies after they've reviewed all school footage, they tell me they won't stop speaking up about their concerns. Baker County Schools principal says he's not taking this situation lightly and ensures it won't happen again. Lena Allen, WALB, your hometown news source.
Yeah, so this is Jeremiah chapter 15, verse 5. For who shall have pity upon thee? See, so, this is a so-called young black woman who and her father. The father is there too. And they're outraged or furious of, their little daughter being around in just a t-shirt and panties, and then they're just passing off like, well, she had a long shirt on, so it's no big deal. But this couldn't have been a so-called white couple, right? Which the Edomites, really, right? This would have been a story that you would never get to hear the end of it, right? So that's what the Lord is talking about. Right, because you're not black, right? You're from the nation of Israel, right? You're from Jerusalem, right? Which is the mother of us all, right? All 12 tribes, right? The so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, right? But who shall pity thee, O Jerusalem, right? Or who shall bemoan thee? So here's her plight, and it's a very valid plight, man. How did it go 4 hours without recognizing this little girl didn't have any underwear or pants on or shorts on, right? And initially, I mean, the crazy thing is they said they told the parents to bring a shirt. What was the purpose of her pants coming off if they just brought a shirt? Right? It doesn't make sense. Right? But let's just play this off like nothing, man. But you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, you're gonna recognize sooner than later, hey, that this place is not your rest, man. Right? Who shall bemoan thee, right? Right, so this is a bemoan.
Bemoan.
Bemoan is a verb that means to express deep grief, distress, or sorrow over something, right? Right?
Discontent.
You're discontent, a feeling of unhappiness or disapproval or a lack of satisfaction, right? So who's really actually giving a damn about this so-called little black girl, right? And another one is bewail.
Bewail.
Right? Who's making an outcry, bitterness over? Who's making a real, true outcry? Right? Because when I pulled it up, when I looked at the story, it was on one of these little sketchy news station type things. So I typed it in just to see if any other news stations would come up. But you see, it wasn't the top news places. You know, it wasn't CNN. It wasn't Forbes, or wasn't these other top ones? These ABC, NBC, and none of those whatchamacallits came up for that story. So it's like, okay, yeah, we'll put it in the news, but it's in one of those, it's like a way of backlogging it by putting in one of these unvetted news places, right, or unesteemed news places. So who's bemoaning you? Who's had this outcry for you, right? Who has this dissatisfaction that you have, right? Right? Or who shall go aside and ask how thus doest, man? After this whole thing, and they're just waiting for this to blow over. Well, let's wait a couple of months, a year from now, whatever, blah, 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 and we'll see who's going to be asking, hey, how everything going? Did you make any progress? Right? How do you feel that the situation has really changed? Right? You're going to find out no one's going to give a damn, man. Right? And that's for you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native. And this is just one incident. Right? But it's going to be many more things that's going to rile Jake's up, man. Right? Because it's going to be the time of Jacob's trouble. And the Lord is going to, the Lord said that who shall rouse Judah up, man. As far as, him being as a old lion stooping down, crouching like he's going to attack, but then he lies down as an old lion. Who shall rouse him up, man? The Lord is going to allow Judah to get busy, man. Right? And all the other tribes are going to follow. For thus has forsaken me, saith Yahweh, thus are gone backwards, right? And this is the condition, because this is what we live in because of us going backwards, sinning against our power, right? But there's plenty of Israelites, right, dealing with the hopeful elect, which will be the elect sooner than later, right? But you still got the 2/3 that just went away backwards, and they're gonna be stuck like Chuck in this situation, and they're gonna erupt, right? Therefore will I stretch out my hand against thee to destroy thee. I am weary with repenting, right? And really, a lot of these Jakes ain't repenting, or if they do, it's like it's not real. It's not like they're really actually trying to change their life. It's just like, God forgive me. He know my heart. I'm okay. And then, brothers may break down things, let you know who you are. You're the Israelites, this and that, so on and so forth. That's okay. Me and the Lord, we got our own personal relationship, so I'm good. I don't need to know nothing about us being Israelites. I don't need to know nothing about nothing. They just going about their business, right? And so that's not true repentance. Just because you're going to church, it means nothing, right? Yeah, so Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4, and thus even thyself shall discontinue from thy heritage. And that's ultimately what's happened, man. You discontinue from your heritage, and you don't figure out why it's so important to get back to your heritage, because that's your power. That's the thing that's going to get us out of this condition, right? Right. As far as mindset first and foremost, but also what you got to go through Jacob's trouble, right? You're going to have a power that's going to navigate you through the times of Jacob's trouble, which we're all going to get tested, right? But it's better to have, spiritual bank filled up with the truth, right? And not what you not knowing for thy heritage, right? Discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, right? See, and you've already discontinued from the heritage, and you think if you just go to a black church or this and that, so on and so forth, not knowing who you are, not understanding that the Lord said my hidden ones, right? Right? They wanted to make the name of Israel be no more amongst you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, right? So you could be you're the Lord's hidden ones, right? Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. Yeah, see, this is Psalms 83 and 4. They have said, "Come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel be no more in remembrance," right? Right? They have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate, right? Which the main component to America that wanted you to be under slavery under them. So every white man benefits is the Confederate, right? But the Confederates lost and deemed you to be debt slaves or slaves to the system or to the banking system, and ultimately to the elite, right? Right? The tabernacles of Edom, right? Which that's who controlling it, Edom, and Ishmael and the Ishmaelites and Moab and the Hagarenes, Gabal and Ammon and Amalek, right? And that's who's controlling that international banking system, and the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, right? Yeah, see, and under that, the Lord allowed this to happen. "And I will cause thee to serve thy enemy in a land which thus knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever," right? So now we're in the land of our captivity, right? Which is Babylon the Great, the daughter of Babylon, spiritually Sodom, spiritually Egypt, spiritually Nineveh, spiritually Rome, right? Spiritually Assyria, right? Because these are the Assyrians that's going to will the rod of the Lord and the indignation of the Lord against you Jakes, which is eventually going to cause a ripple effect. Yeah, so all those people, it says because that's Psalms 83, and all those nations had participated in us in our downfall, right? Putting us in the ghettos, the vadios, the reservations, and then keeping us in those places, right? Right, systemically, right? Making it the environment, the situation, very difficult, right? It says all that passed by clapped their hands. See, 'cause they were excited that they were excited that the Israelites had failed. That was back then and even now, man, right? Because who's gonna bemoan that your situation of your young girl, your daughter, right, being at school pretty much 3-4 hours with no pants on, when initially they said to just bring a shirt. So there must have been nothing wrong with the shorts that she had on. They said bring a shirt, not shorts. So how was the opposite happen? That the shirt's on, but there's no shorts. Right? Crazy. Right? Yeah, so they all that passed by clapped their hands. It's like all that passed by clap their hands at thee, right? they hiss and wag their head, right? See, man, look at these ghetto bum, like, we're gonna give them respect. We don't give a damn about your daughter being at school for 3-4 hours with just a t-shirt and panties on, or underwear, however you want to say it, right? At the daughters of Jerusalem. Oh wow, see, can't make this up, right? Saying, is this the city that men call perfection of beauty, right? Because at one point in time, what, they don't got to show you respect no more, because what? Yeah, our nation, right? It's a perfection of beauty, dealing with the law, statutes, commandments, but also our women. Our women were absolutely drop dead gorgeous, right? And had very long hair, right? Had beautiful hair. And at one time, our women was the envy of what the standard of beauty is, right? But they changed those things into a lie, because they don't have to respect you, so-called black women anymore, right? Because that's the way they feel, right? Because due to the curses, we're saying, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stank, right? See, now they're saying, hey, these black women stink, and you got, plenty of men that testify to the way you women smell in your vagina area, right? And instead of a rent, right? And we can see how your body is, your whole thing is complaint. I had babies. These other women had babies too. And as soon as they had to drop the baby, they was back out running. They were exercising, working out. I know I don't have time for that. Well, we get it. A lot of people, you're right. A lot of this, we don't have time for it. But is a way you got to adjust your time and make time here and there. Which a lot of you women had plenty of time. A lot of you women were on Section 8, right? So you had nothing but time to sit around and exercise and make sure that you looked right? Or if you women had a decent dude who made a decent salary, which a lot of you did, right? You could have hit the gym. You work basically your part-time jobs here and there. You go to the gym, make sure you look nice. But no, your body's a rent, right? And instead of well-set hair, what? Baldness. And see, this is why these women and the rest of these nations feel like they don't have to respect you, right? They don't have to cry or care or bemoan that your young daughter was around naked like that. Hey, those some bald head, nappy head, ghetto people over there, right? Who gives a damn, right? And instead of a stomacher, a girdle, right? And that's the only way you so-called got a shape. Man, they got a cold girdle. They was showing this thing on, TikTok. And it's a cold-ass girdle. This chick was fat, flubby, nasty fat. And she threw on this girdle thing, and it just curved her whole body as far as clothing-wise. When you're just looking at her, she put that girdle on, and under her clothes, man, she had the baddest Coke bottle shape. And you're just thinking, damn, why don't you just go work out? I mean, obviously that's the shape of her body. Under all that fat, under all that rent. But she don't want to do the work. Right? She wants all the reward and no work. Right? It says, yeah. But yeah, girt of sackcloth. So now, hey, instead, hey, you're just a crying shame. Right? It's just hey, it's bad. It ain't looking good. Titty saggy, body saggy, booty saggy. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And burning instead of beauty. So hey, is this the perfection of beauty that men call? Like, oh my God. When it said one of our women, I forgot the name, but they said that these dudes out there in battle, warring, fighting life and death, and seeing her walk, and everybody stopped in the middle of a life and death situation, fighting for your life, stopped to watch this woman, this Israelite woman, walk across the battlefield. I don't know if that was Judith. It might have been Judith. But that's fine. She was fine. You know what I'm saying? Right? She's fine, Jim. Right? Pastor, she's fine. Hey, man. Whoa. You know what? Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war, right? Because we're going to come into the time of race wars, man. The time of what men are getting tired of the status quo. Yeah, so-called black people are going to get tired of looking over, being looked over. Who shall bemoan you? Who going to give a damn? I mean, something even as outrageous is that it's not going to arouse people up. They're going to come upon our side, right? That's not going to, that's outrageous. You should have had so-called black parents, so-called Mexican parents, right? Which black and Hispanic or Mexican or actually Israelites, right? They're some from the same nation, but they suffer from being discontinued from their heritage and not knowing that they're the Israelites, not knowing that they're brothers, not knowing that Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is on his way back. And all this is scourges for amendment. This is all something to happen, for something to kick off, man. Because people are going to remember this. Well, what happened? Why can't we get an outcry for our children? This kid is not a gangbanger. This kid is 6 years old. We can't get no love? You know? So it's just going to make what? War. All right? Yeah, so they saying, what, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty? Right? And we're people before a place. So that city is talking about the people of Israel, so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, woman, and child. Right? And we're all absolutely gorgeous, man. Right? I mean, the Judite woman don't really get that right now because she's the one who's suffering from the baldness of the head. But even this, it's actually starting to go into all the tribes, right? I done seen Issachar having bald head now, and even Gad. You know, Gad, them Gadites had that nice long black hair and stuff. I've even seen Gadites suffering from baldness now, right? But these are the things that the Lord is causing upon the people, man. The joy of the whole world, right? Because wait till we get back into rulership, man. The whole world is going to be joyful, man. When the wicked rule, the world mourns. But when the righteous rule, the birds and everything rejoice. The trees are going to rejoice, right? Everything, life is going to rejoice. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, right? When the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. Everything is mourning. So the righteous is definitely not an authority, right? And we're going to have that joy of the whole earth. But since it's all thy enemies, right, which we read all of our enemies, right, in Psalms 83, have opened their mouth against thee, they have hissed and gnashed their teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. See, they say, hey, we got them. We discontinued them from their heritage. They're in the ghettos, the vadios, the reservations. Hey, the women are against the men. The men are against each other, right? You got the tribes against each other. Everything that they ever wanted, man, we swallowed them up, man. We divided and conquered them, right? We swallowed her up. Certainly, this is the day that we looked for. See, hey, man, they've been waiting for this, man, to put you in a time of Jacob's trouble, and they're looking forward to this now. You heard about them cops that got busted because they were giving each other coins and saying they can't wait. Basically, they were saying they can't wait to the race wars. They got fired because their microphones were on. But you think them same cops didn't go somewhere else and become police officers somewhere else? Or get them a job somewhere else in some type of law enforcement type of atmosphere and still have the same mentality saying that they can't wait to the race wars? Right? So we're in the time of the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. Right? Certainly, this is the day that we hope, that we looked for. We have found. We have seen it. Right? We found it. We seen it, man. It's here. Right? This is that manifest destiny. Put you off on reservations. Put you off in the ghettos. Put you off in the vadios. Hey, and then now they're looking forward to what? To giving everybody the charagma. Right? And those that don't, then you die, and it doesn't really make a difference because that's part of the elite's plan anyway, to kill off majority of the population on the planet and have it under a number that's governable, right? So you don't have too many uprises, right? Especially since they're just gonna bring in the machines and this and that, so they don't want no uprises when you're gonna bring in a bunch of machines and things to take care of everything. Right? They show you that in Demolition Man, right? The thing hit the graffiti, and then it was just a machine thing popped up and cleared off the graffiti. They showed you that when what's his name, Sylvester Stallone came out of the cryogenics. The first thing they did was gave him the chip, man. They charagma'd him up, right? This is the time that we're living in. Yeah, so this is Isaiah chapter 51, verse 19. These two things are come unto thee, right? Which is talking about two so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. Who shall be sorry for thee, man? So who's walking around being sorry for your condition that you're living in? That the cops are killing you, and especially the so-called Mexican. They're not putting that on the news, right? They'll do it to the so-called black man, which really which is really good, because that's what the Lord said. He's going to rouse Judah up, man, in these last days, man. But then all the other tribes are going to follow. But then you still got some of the the Northern Kingdom, the so-called Hispanic speaking people that believe that they want to attach themselves to Esau, man. Right? Or maybe not. Just say, hey, we just don't want nothing to do with the black people, and we don't want to do with this because we want to separate ourselves from them because we're better than this and that and whatever. But but you're gonna see who's gonna feel sorry for thee. Whether you think you can separate and be better than us or not, right? Or you're gonna just be the 2/3 and just be die in your sins in this place. Who's going to be sorry for the destruction, desolation and destruction and famine? See, that's the thing that's coming for the 2/3, man. Right? And the sword, right? So, hey, they're going to die by the sword, man. That's the thing that's coming. And I mean in the war, because they're going to have a draft. Forgot to mention that. Let's not forget about that. A lot of you are about to get drafted, whether you believe or trust in this country or this system. You're gonna fall by the sword in a war, man. Right? And the others in the famine, right? By whom shall I comfort thee, man? What nation or what thing can I bring to comfort you? I brought you the prophets. I'm bringing you the prophets now. But it's going to be a time the Lord's going to have our tongue cleaved to our mouths, and we're going to be no more things to be said, man. The scripture said you're going to run to and fro, looking for that wine, looking for the Spirit, looking for an answer, right? And ain't going to be none there, right? Because all of this is thy sons have fainted, right? Because see, without the Spirit, you're going to faint, man. You're gonna either just say crash out and say, hey, what does that say? Give me freedom or give me death, right? Which I kind of like that saying in a sense, but you might have to crash out like that. Hey, look, I need to have, I need to be a free man or die. Why should I get the charagma? Why should I have to do this? Why should I do that to have to eat? We never need that before. Or you just turn around and just get the charagma, right? You get the RFID chip so you can live, trying to save yourself. Either which way, you have fainted. They lie in the head of all the streets, see? And that's what a lot of Jakes is going to do. They a lot of these Jakes, they ain't down with the system. They know that the system's against us, man. And the Lord's going to put a spirit on them to understand that ain't for you. Not to say they're not going to be the 2/3, which they are, but the Lord's still going to put a spirit on them as a wild bull in the net, man. They're going to be out there, hey, because they know this government, they've been locked up, this and this and that. The government ain't for you, man. When you lock me up and you tell me I need to take the jump shot in order to drop off my sentence, and then you find out people are being unalived on a high level after the jump shot, I know that you ain't for me, man. The ghettos, the vadios, the reservations, we know you ain't for us, right? So it's going to fill up with fury, right? Like a wild bull in the net, full of the fury of Yahweh, right? And they're going to get the Most High's anger, man. The rebuke of thy power, right? Hey, the Lord's finna rouse this thing up, man. Therefore, hear ye now this, thus afflicted and drunken, but not with wine. And they're going to be drunk with the anger of the Lord, man. A lot of them are going to be drunk with the anger of the Lord and drunk with some get back, man. Right? That's for them 2/3 that ain't going to come out of this, man. I love shooting. I love killing. I ain't never leaving the block. Right? Some dudes that, hey, man, they love it, man. Right? Yeah. So this is Jeremiah chapter 20, verse 4. For thus saith Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rakakadash, behold, I will make thee a terror to thyself. Right? See, and ultimately, that's what Jake is, man. You're just a terror to yourself. You're in the ghettos, the barrios, the reservations, and you're just a terror to yourself. Right? And to all thy friends, and all they shall fall by the sword, and their enemies, and thy eyes shall behold it. And I will give all Judah unto the hands of the king of Babylon. Right? So this was the time of Nebuchadnezzar, right? But this is also now, right? Spiritually speaking, right? Because we're in the hands, we're in the spiritual Babylon, and we're in their hands, and they're gonna come down with great wrath, knowing that they got but a short time, right? And the Lord's gonna we're already in their hands technically, but they're gonna come down with great wrath, and that's gonna be ultimately like a part of judgment when a lot of Jake die by that, man. When they die by the sword in the race wars, some of them get drafted and get sent to the war in the Middle East, right? Those are part of that judgment, right? By the sword, right? And I will give Judah into the hands of the king of Babylon, and he shall carry them captive, right? And we're gonna have what they call concentration camps or FEMA camps, re-educational camps, to see if they can re-educate you into getting the charagma, the RFID chip, the charagma, the Karax, the grapho. They're gonna see if they can get you to get that, right, in those concentration camps. That's gonna be the new captivity, right? And into Babylon shall and into Babylon and shall slay them with the sword. See, and of those that don't comply, are gonna die, right? Yeah. So this is Jeremiah chapter 15, verse 7, and I will fan them with a fan in the gates. So right, the Lord's gonna bring forth fanners, man. So which these are things that's cooking up things, which they're talking about that right now. They're saying that there's a Venezuelan gangs that so-called terrorizing the neighborhood, and they're bringing in a lot of so-called what they call them, Hell's Angels, which are white, which is this white motorcycle gang or club or whatever they want to call themselves, right? And under this white motorcycle gang club type situation, it's kind of like that same situation that they showed you in what was it, the Purge, right? I think it was the first Purge, right? Not the first movie, but the Purge, what they had in the hood, right? Right, which that was the very first. Technically, it was the first one. They did it backwards or something, whatever. And they had the motorcycle gang come through because Jake wasn't killing each other. So they had this motorcycle gang basically in that movie, in the one that was in the hood, come through and started killing people, started doing things. So it's kind of similar situation already happening right now. So that's a fanner. They fanning the things within the gates, within the city, within the gates of Babylon. You know what I mean, right? A place where you're supposed to, because behind gates you're supposed to be protected. But when you're bringing in fanners, they're gonna bring in more calamities, death, pestilence, whatever they must do, right? Of the land, and I will bereave them of their children, right? See, people, children's gonna die. All sorts of things are gonna happen, man. And I will destroy my people, right? Because a lot of Jake is wicked, man. So, yeah, they're coming to kill, but the Lord is allowing certain things to happen. But the Lord ain't gonna just allow it to where nothing happens to them, because they're wicked too. They deserve a judgment too. So, since they return not from their ways. See, and that's ultimately what it is. A lot of jakes ain't gonna turn from their ways, but it's gonna kick up a lot of things. It's gonna make things happen, man. Right? They're widows, right? See, once you die, a man dies, his wife is now a widow. Their widows are increased to me above the sands of the sea. So, and it proves to you that Isaiah chapter 4 is going to be true, because their widows are going to be increased until as the sands of the sea, man. So when you're talking 7 women to 1 man, that's like the apostle said, that number 7 is just a completion, just meaning completion, right? A perfect number, right? And I have brought them against the mother of the young men. I have brought against them against the mother of the young men a spoiler, right? See, so now these men are going to come through the neighborhoods, terrorizing, women and things like that, and there's gonna have a thing where Jake is gonna have to step up, man. The men are gonna have to step up, but in that, men are gonna die. These are things that are gonna happen, man. Young men, a spoiler at the noonday. I have caused him to fall upon it suddenly, right? And the terrors upon the city. See? So now all these things are happening, right? So this is Psalms 18:40. Thus has also given me the necks of my enemies, that I may destroy them that hate me, right? And ultimately, this is really for the elect, right? But even, these jakes, these 2/3 jakes, the Lord is going to turn them up, and they're going to have a victory, in a sense, over these Edomites, man. And they cried, but there was none to save them, right? Because that's the conditions that we lived under, right? Right? Even their least people could beat us up, and nothing will happen to them, let alone an elite, right? So that's what the Lord's going to do, right? Even the basis of our people, which is still greater than any of their people, right? It's going to have that. The Lord's going to turn them up, man, in that day, even unto Yahweh, but He answered them not, right? So all these, oh Lord God, oh God, you know what I'm saying? And they may even say, what is the God that they're talking about? Those black Hebrew Israelites? Yahweh, can you please help me? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be racist. I never was racist. But it's going to be too late, man. Right? But this is really a thing for the elect, man. Right? In the kingdom. That's really where we're going to really get that, that power, right? Yeah, but this is Genesis chapter 49, verse 8. Judah, thus are whom thy brethren shall praise, right? The so-called black man, right? That they call black, which is really Judah, right? And then we got a lot of them people from the islands, which are Benjamin, right? From Jamaica, from the Virgin Islands, right? Which is Benjamin. We got a lot of Haitians over here, which is Levi, right? So that's Judah, Benjamin, Levi. So that's the kingdom of Judah, the southern kingdom, and that southern kingdom is going to turn up, man. And then all the other tribes are going to follow, right? Thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall praise. Yeah, whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thy enemies, right? See, that's what that's ultimately what the Lord's going to do. He's going to allow us, really starting with the elect, but even 2/3 is going to get busy in that last day, man, right? In the time of Yaquab's trouble, right? What they call Jacob's trouble, right? The Lord's going to have the children of Yaquab get busy, man. And Yaquab in itself means a supplanter, man. And that's ultimately what's going to happen, man. They're going to get supplanted, man. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee, man. And all them gangs and all that stuff follow Jake anyway right now. How much more in that day when they're gonna need to come together, which they are, and Judah is a lion's whelp from the prey, my son, thus are gone up, man. Hey, Judah's gonna go up to the fight, man, which he did back in the days and back in the 60s, the Black Panthers and Malcolm X and Martin Luther and all these different other so-called uprisings that people had, and then of course you had the other Israelites come behind them, the Brown Berets, the Indian movement, right? The North American Indian movement, and they were behind Jake, right? They knew, hey, we had the same common enemy, but that's gonna come around again, right? So it says, and then right now, Judah is a lion's whelp from the prey, my son, thus are gone up. He stooped down, he crouches as a lion, and as an old lion. See, that's been the times of Jake being passive, right? All these times, little dang, I can't remember the name of that little kid. The little kid was playing with the gun, and they shot him, and it was clear it was a freaking toy gun. Oh, I thought it was a gun. I don't know. I just seen the gun. I shot the kid. Hey, no big deal, right? All the innocent people that Jake didn't ride over, right? While you're riding over goddamn, what's his name, George Floyd. But I get it. Sometimes enough is enough. We let you ride against Sandra Bland. We let you ride against this and that. And we didn't do this. And hey, but it's come a time where who should bemoan you? How many times this gotta happen where we're not bemoaned and no one's looking for you? Who should come see how you are, check up on you, right? No one's saying, hey, I'm sorry. Are you okay? We did put you in the ghettos, the Valdos, the reservations, and those places turned into war zones, and you got PTSD and stuff like you've been to war, right? When you calling a place Chirac, you know what I mean? When you calling your hood a war zone, right? That's crazy, right? When you calling the place where you live the murder capital of America, right? Because the apostle had us look up that, and I looked at that little video, the St. Louis brothers that's out there, which is not even brothers at this point, man. They're our enemies too, because their whole thing is to be about this world, man. So, but they're wild bulls in the net, man. They filled with the fury of the Lord, man, and ultimately the Lord's gonna allow that to let loose on this place, man, right? And it says, he crouched down as an old lion. Crouched down as a lion and as an old lion, Salakia, who shall rouse him up? And it's going to be the Most High, man. This is Isaiah chapter 19, verse 16. And in that day, right, it's the day of Jacob's trouble, day of Yaakov's trouble, right? The day that they think that they can't wait for. Yeah, we're gonna kill them. We're gonna kill them. Those black guys, those Mexican guys. We're gonna kill them. Right? Those cops was basically bragging about it. They can't wait to that day, but they're gonna get a rude awakening, right? Right? And in that day, Egypt, right? Which that's what you are. You're spiritual Egyptians, right? Shall be like women, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Hey, and you're getting it right now, man. Through this digital epistle, through every time we go out there on the highways and the byways, right? And you ain't seen nothing yet. The Lord is going to give a great shaking, which them ICBM missiles are going to give this whole world a shaking right along with the laser beams from the chariots, man. It's going to be a great shaking, but we're shaking up the planet right now, man. A lot of these Jakes are they're listening. You could hear some of these Jake. Like we had a Jake when we were out there in Tucson. He was like, yeah, what up, cuz? What up, cuz? Oh yeah, I know when Israelites and blah 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 blah. And he was breaking down scriptures. He knew some things, but he just couldn't see getting together with Issachar, because they've been beefing with Issachar. So he don't see how Issachar is down with the Bible, right? But he knew something. So it's going to come a time, those Jakes that kind of know a little something, this and that, they're going to realize, hey, these people are our brothers, and we need to band together, and they just going to be the 2/3 though. You know, that's all it is. So there's going to be a great shaking of Yahweh's hand. Because of the shaking of Yahweh's hand, because of the shaking of the hand of Yahweh, Salakia, of hosts, right? Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai of hosts meaning armies, man. So the Lord the Lord's gonna make these 2/3 man, a force that can't be reckoned with, man. He gonna make them militarized, man. Right? Which he shaketh over it, man, over this place, Babylon the Great, spiritually Egypt, man, where you're gonna be like women, man, in that day, man. And the land of Judah, right? Once I told you, where people before a place. So the Lord's calling the land Judah. Well, that doesn't make sense, right? So it's a people before a place. Shall be a terror unto Egypt, unto what? Unto this place, Babylon the Great, spiritually Sodom, spiritually Egypt, man. Right? It's America, right? And everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself, because of the counsel of Yahweh of hosts, right? Which he have determined. He determined against it, right? So, hey, the Lord made up his mind, man. It's a determination of the Most High, man. It's this determination to destroy this place, man. And, hey, and the Lord said 2/3 shall be cut off therein. So, hey, it's the Lord's determination, man. To turn this thing up, man. Right? Yeah, so this is Zechariah chapter 9, verse 13. And when I have bent Judah for me, and this is the Most High, man. The Most High says it's going to be a shaking of the Most High hand over Egypt, man, over this place, America, Babylon the Great. Right? Right? When I have bent Judah, right, the so-called Negro that you call, so-called Jamaican, West Indies, Virgin Islands, right, which is Benjamin, and then right, Haitians, which is the Levites, right. For me, fill the bowl with Ephraim, right, the so-called Puerto Ricans, right along with the Dominicans, the Cubans, the Colombians, Venezuelans. Hey, and don't forget Gad, right? The so-called North American Indian, right? And raise up. And fill the bowl with Ephraim, and raise up thy sons, O Zion, right? Which Zion means to Zion, which means memorial. The Lord is going to remember us in that day, man. He's going to remember us to Zion, O Zion, against thy sons, O Greece, right? And we know that the self-proclaimed so-called white man, even though he took on that title, which actually belonged to the what do they call it? The Japhetic people, which are Polynesians, or the original Australians, which are Aborigine Australians. That was one of their names. They were called Greece, but the self-proclaimed so-called white man took that on. So we know that one of their kingdoms, which going back to Alexander the Greek, right, was the first to rule over Grecia, right, which is an Edomite. His father from Macedon, right, being he was related to Haman, right. Right, and we know that guy is an Edomite, man. So this goes into the Edomites, and made thee a strong sword of a mighty man. See, the Lord's gonna make them. Hey, told you, the Yahweh of hosts, man. Right? Yeah. So this is Isaiah chapter 51, verse 22. Thus saith Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, thy power that I pleadeth the cause that pleadeth the cause of his people. See, that's what the Most High is ultimately going to do. Going to plead the cause of his people, which is the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, starting with the elect. But hey, the 2/3, the Lord's going to plead their cause too. And behold, I have taken out of thy hand the cup of trembling. See, they're gonna be. These jakes ain't gonna be afraid no more, man. Even the dregs of the cup, right? All them curses and all them things that them ailments and all that other stuff that was hurting Jake. You know what I mean? Hey, that thing is gonna be taken away, man. Right? All that fear, all that, man. It's gonna be nothing but the anger of the Lord, man. The dregs of the cup of my fury, thus shall no more drink of it again. So the Lord's going to take that away from us, man. And the Lord said the curses that are upon us are going to come upon our enemy. Right? See how easy it was for Esau to put us in captivity, for us to be in the hands of the king of Babylon, right? Which right now is Biden, right? Quivering Biden, which will be whoever else is in become president, right? And Babylon the Great, the daughter of Babylon, in this place, right? Which that was talking about ancient Babylon, but the Lord in itself is it's going to be a similar situation, because people they're gonna fight or flight when they're taking people to concentration camps, to re-educational camps, chipping everybody with RFID chips, and all sorts of madness is going on, and all sorts of animals and robots and drones and drone dogs and drone this and that and missiles and fires and bombs and pocket bombs and, man, all sorts of craziness is going to be going on. A fight or flight, and there's a thing where the Lord's going to raise up. He's going to take that couple trembling from off of Judah, Benjamin and Levi, off of Ephraim, Gad, Issachar, off all the 12 tribes, man, dealing with this specific place over here in Babylon the Great, mainly. But I will put into the hand of them the that afflicted thee. See, but the Lord, He's gonna put it into the hands of them that afflicted us. But I will put it into the hands of them that afflicted us. And who afflicted us, man? We read the list, right? Going back to Psalms 83. And the first one was Edom, man, the self-proclaimed so-called white man, which have said in their soul, bow down. See, that's what they want us to do. That we may go over, and thus has laid thy body as the ground and as the street. See, and that's what Jake did. Hey, okay, let's just love me, white man. Here, I'll let you lay all over me. I'll let you let us be the first fired, last hired. I'll let you go through all these things. I'll let you tell us a bunch of lies. I'll let you see us get shot on camera, on TV, getting played over and over and over again on television, and the cops still get off. But then we're gonna still sit and say, hey, let's vote for Trump, or let's vote for this person, instead of saying, hey, let's tear this. Hey, let's really be about no justice, no peace. If we don't get no peace, if we don't get justice, you don't get no peace. I mean, they're killing you anyway. They're throwing you in prisons anyway. Right? How much more should you know what I mean? Forget it. And that's what Jake is gonna crash out. They're gonna just say, F it. What more can you do? You're throwing people in concentration camps, torturing them. You know what I'm saying? And Jake ain't about that. Nah. He bowed down for a lot of reasons, a lot of things, but he ain't gonna keep bowing down. As the streets to them that went over, right? Which is the self-proclaimed so-called white man who went over all these Israelites, man. Right? But the Lord's gonna stop all these things, right? So with all that, I want to give all praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. To the elder apostles in Connecticut, to the brothers, the bishops, the priests, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds, preaching the truth with sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, the elect, Shalom, to the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom to you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence, and a Baba Ball.